what I'm going to show you on this video is how to make your ages or your Saturn prediction. There are few methods in which you could take the approach. One, starting from Aries, you use it as 2 years, followed by Taurus 3 years, then followed by Gemini 2 years, followed by Cancer 3 years, and round the zodiac circle to complete the 2 years and 3 years pattern, which makes it 30 years for a full cycle of Saturn. But those are general cycles. The other approach is you could start with Aries as 2.5 years, then the next sign 2.5 years, so within 2 zodiac signs there are 5 years, by which when you go through the 12 zodiac sign, it comes to the equal of 30 years cycle. The best way of approach, that is if you know astrology and you know how to find Saturn movement. So you use those movements when it came to a sign, and when will it go to the next sign, factoring in between the direct movement and the retrogression. And you do that for all the zodiac signs, or for all the houses, as some of them will call it if you're viewing it from your personal astrological chart, individual astrological chart. Then you get the full Saturn transit throughout the chart, and it'll tell you when it'll move in certain areas and what to expect. Saturn movement is very, very important. It need not be a bad planet, but it's a planet that will give you a wake-up call to start to show you where your inadequacies, your weakness, your lack of purpose or direction that need to be identified and corrected. In the past, the 4th house is used for the mother, as identifiable for the mother sign, and the 10th house is for the father, since the 10th house is the sign of career and a breadwinner, while the 4th house is a domestic sign, so the mother runs the home. But in today's changing times, the 4th house is identified for whoever that's running the home, since many men have left the workforce and take duty in the home, while many women goes out to be the breadwinner. So with changing time, you have to factor all this in. Saturn, when it is in the 10th house, it will affect the breadwinner's health, difficulty in maintaining order in regards to work, and there could be a kind of reduction to the capacity and the ability to bring about income through work, or work position are always threatening and difficult. Saturn moving into the 7th house of the chart It could cause problem in marriage, delay in going into a kind of a partnership, and it could be a relationship that goes on and on and on, but not consummate into a marriage. Saturn in the 11th house of the horoscope, and you could have problems with groups. You start to be selective. You start to see the kind of people you want to mix and not mix, in what society you like to be in. And you're very cautious about your wants and expectation. You become more realistic when dealing with these matters. While Saturn in the 3rd house could bring about delay in communication, always dealing with vehicle problem, machineries problem, and it could also give you a problem with your siblings and relatives. While Saturn in the 6th house, it could bring problem with work duties, responsibilities, fellow workers, and health condition, maybe lack of exercise, or maybe frequently having to visit the doctor for many issues. And Saturn in the 12th house, since Saturn rules structure, it could mean like moving away to new environment, away with the old onto the new. It's a kind of settlement with old issues. It could bring about the need, the want, the desire for hibernation, to be left alone, wanting own space, and having some worries and difficulties with old things, old people who are usually hospitalizing at this time, or old things breaking down that has to be got rid of in order to bring about new functional either machineries or equipments or things of need. The most important thing about Saturn is not to be fearful. Never use that planet just because it's in that house, so there's something to fear about. No, use it for observation where situation need to be tackled and in which area. If it is in the 5th house, then you tend to go into a lot of mental worries, because in Thai astrology, the 5th house is the house of thinking, and the 10th house is the house of action. So what you think now will turn to be action when the planet moves in that area, for any planet that matters. So the most important thing is you must know your 12 houses. The 1st to the 12th, and you got to know it well. Rehearse it. Bring it to mind. Because when you're doing a prediction, you do not have time to refer to this and refer to that. Everything got to be up there, ready to go mentally. And when you study this Saturn cycle, and you want to go deeper and further into the knowledge, then you need to study the Lordship. Like Mars rules Aries, Venus rules Taurus, Mercury rules Gemini, and wherever Saturn is, you got to find what is its Lordship. For example, for the sign of Capricorn, the Lordship, say for example, if you have Aries as an ascendant, or Saturn is placed in Aries, then the lordship would be of the 10 and 11 house. If it happened to be Aries the ascendant, then career matters and group activities are very important to your personal life. The lordship is very important. If it happened to be Taurus, then it is the 9 and 10 lord. So anything to do with education, improvement, and dealing with authority are very important, as well as career matters and future ambition and plan. So you can use it into the prediction and it will be very accurate. So with that, I leave you now. My name is Rugdee from Rugdee channel. Cheers.